Topic number 3. Game of the decade. We're going to be talking about the 2012 game of that year and the game of the year for 2013 as their representatives. There were a lot of really good games that came out in both of these years. We just had to sum it up into this list. There's a lot of those games. Ashton, I'm gonna throw some out here, and I guess you tell me which ones you've played.
Sure.
Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is a PS Vita game. I'm assuming no.
No.
Mass Effect 3.
Nope. I didn't get to play that one.
Journey, PlayStation 3 game. PSN
No.
game. Fez.
I didn't get to play it, but I watched people play it.
The Walking Dead. Telltale's The Walking Dead.
I watched it on the YouTube channel.
Oh my god. Diablo 3. This is actually the PC launch. It came out in 2012. No, okay. Civilization 5.
Yes.
Okay. Anything you want to say about that?
It was fun.
It was fun. It was a good game. Guild Wars 2 came out that year as well.
No.
Hotline Miami.
No.
Black Ops 2.
I did play that.
Okay. Here we go. We got one here. You got anything to say about that? Why it should be game of the decade?
It was one of the last good Call of Duties, in my opinion. I don't know. I guess for me, it took up so much of my time. It was basically, was that the one? Yeah, that was the one that had transit in it for the zombie map. It was like the first iteration of zombies, where you had like all these crazy Easter eggs, all these crazy these Easter eggs always existed in the zombie mode, but it was really refined in this, and you got actual achievements for doing said Easter eggs, and people got more involved in the community, and it was very difficult. Getting that Tower of Babel achievement was something else, but I don't know. It was just everything that they had been doing well, they just did better. It was a good improvement, pretty much all around. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
And the last one I have here on the list is Persona 4 Golden, which was a PS Vita game as well. Yeah, the thing about 2012 for me, I think that the reason why I thought it was so much of an iconicized year was because this was my year that I went to PAX for the first time. I went to PAX Prime 2012. It was not called West, it was Prime. And that was still when they're doing 3 days and the whole thing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But there's a lot of really good games, but they're not really a lot of like big games. Like they're just like, oh yeah, that game was awesome. That game was really good. Would I say it was like game of the decade? I don't know, but I would say there's a lot of really good contenders for some really good game of the year. Uncharted Golden Abyss, I think, is one of the reasons to own a Vita. If you're an Uncharted fan, I think you can pick up a Vita pretty cheap now, and I think it's worth playing. I think it's really cool. It's stuck on that console, so the only way you can play it is on Vita. And it's an Uncharted game portable, and it works. And there's some Vita gimmicks that it does do, but I think it's really fun. And it's a really good game. Mass Effect 3 wrapped up the Mass Effect saga to mixed reviews, to say the least, until they fixed quote unquote the ending. I had no problem with it, but I also played it years later. Journey is still to this day one of those artsy games that a lot of people will say is one of the most beautiful games that exist. I've not played it, but I know that people really do love it. Fez is one of those XBLA PSN games that just art style alone did really well, and was actually one of the in a documentary with Super Meat Boy and Bastion and things like that. The Walking Dead to me is still one of the best games ever created when it comes to story. I know a lot of people will say, like, is that really a game? to me, I still think that it's what it is. I think it's just written really well. I've never felt so much emotion for a video game until I played it. I was playing as Lee and helping this little girl named Clementine, and having this choice decision around a franchise that at the time was really, really popular and not necessarily drawing too much off of it, but making it their own, as like, we're going to make a Walking Dead game, but it doesn't really have anything to do with what you see in the comics. Diablo 3 is also, my dad would say, is game of the year, game of the decade. He's put way too many hours into that game. Civ 5 was my first Civilization game I ever played. Guild Wars 2 I have played, but I'm not an MMO RPG person. Hotline Miami is obviously one of those big arcade games again as well. And Persona 4 Golden, another Vita game that I think took what was really good about Persona 4 and then they just added a whole bunch of stuff, and then was kind of a leaping stone for what they did with Persona 5 as of late, where they just created another game and added a whole bunch of content too. In Black Ops 2, I played that with pretty much everyone in high school and middle school, right? 2012. No, high school.
High school.
And yeah, that was a good Call of Duty game. That was one of the very few that I've actually beat, because I'm starting to lose track now. But if you could pick 3 of these games to move on to our elimination, what would you pick? In no particular order as of right now, but
Black Ops, Diablo, and I don't. It's hard.
You got Uncharted Golden Abyss, Mass Effect 3, Journey, Fez, The Walking Dead, Diablo 3, Civ 5, Guild Wars 2, Hotline Miami, Black Ops 2, and Persona 4 Golden.
Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3. Okay. Mine would probably be The Walking Dead, Persona 4. Oof. And this is really hard because I don't. Okay, we'll get to this. I'm gonna put Mass Effect 3 in there. So I'm crossing off the ones that didn't make it here. Just because Mass Effect 3 got 2 votes, I don't think deserves to be the game of the year of that year. Is there one that you're willing to go to bat for?
What I'm willing to go to bat for?
Because right now we have Mass Effect 3, The Walking Dead, Diablo 3, Black Ops 2, and Persona 4 Golden.
Not really.
Okay.
This wasn't a big gaming year for me. I wasn't really branching out that much in that year. I wasn't trying new genres or anything like that for myself. It was just Call of Duty, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really branch out a whole lot. But I was also grounded most of that year, so.
Got it. Yeah, see, this was the year I started branching out because of PAX and things like that. And I'm like, oh, there's cool games. There's these other types of games I've never heard of. Because to me, I think The Walking Dead is 2012 Game of the Year. I've said this since 2012. I've never felt emotion. I got Christian into playing it. We played it on the channel earlier on. I still think it holds up. I think it catapulted Telltale to being this iconic company before it flopped and did its thing. But, at the time it was like, holy crap, they finally made a game that is really fun and can tell a story. I know a lot of people will fight the fact of, can you call it a game? And I will say there's game-like tendencies to it. So I'm willing to put
game-like tendencies to it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can say that about The Last of Us too. I mean, there's shooting and stuff, but it's mainly a movie. It's like, it's just an interactive movie with some action and shoots and pow-pows. But I mean, there's moments, you're choosing an adventure. You're choosing the paths that you're going to take that will affect this whole ripple effect of whoever dies or who continues on into the next game or the next episode. I don't know. I just got to say it's still The Walking Dead. Unless you can talk me down my ladder here. I'm also willing to do that.
Walking Dead is almost all fucking dialogue. I know you're comparing it to Last of Us. Is nowhere near the amount of
I
fucking.
know that, but I mean, like, I don't know. It to me is, um, to me it's still this like, I don't know. I feel like it's just so good. I know. I guess I don't know. So
I
would you
wouldn't
say?
call it a masterpiece. It has good storytelling. It have a lot of
Sure, I
gameplay
guess I
elements.
wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but
It's none of these games are really true masterpieces. I don't know. I didn't get to play Diablo 3. I just know a lot of fucking people love that game and still even play it
yeah,
right now.
my dad's one of them. He's beaten that
Um,
game, I think 7 times because he beats it and then he does
yeah,
New Game Plus and then continues it in a harder difficulty and then beats it and then continues it again.
yeah.
That's
So I
literally
mean,
like the
people are
only game
still
he
playing
plays
it
on his
right now.
Xbox.
I have people on my friends list. I have 1 or 2 people on my friends list that were playing it yesterday.
Man.
I was like, what the fuck? All
No, I
right,
do
yeah.
want to say
Today.
for people that are wondering, are we rating the one that came out? No, this is the release. We're only talking about when the games officially release for the first time. There's no like, oh, you can say this. So that's why Diablo 3 is being talked about in 2012. We're not talking about I think it's 2014 when it came to consoles. So, but still, it's the same game
It's
practically.
still the same.
So,
Yeah, it's a port. It's the same fucking thing.
so are you saying that
Um,
Diablo 3 should be game of the
I
year for
am.
2012?
I am. I feel like that game definitely has more longevity. It's more appealing to other people because of the art style is just more up to snuff. Whereas art style, The Walking Dead, in my opinion, is kind of hard to look at. It's just a lot of hard lines, and they were focusing a lot on the storytelling, which is what Telltale does. They're that way for a reason,
Yeah.
but it's not nearly as like good looking and eye catching as say like The Wolf Among Us, right?
Sure.
It's but it's just, for that universe, Walking Dead universe, it's supposed to look drab and like shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not like fun to look at. Sure, the storytelling is phenomenal, but you're not going to have those gameplay elements that you want from playing a video game. Whereas like something like Mass Effect, very bright, polished storytelling. People didn't like some of the storytelling from what I hear,
It's
but the
the ending.
gameplay
The
at its
ending is what
core,
people didn't like.
is like pretty
Yeah.
smooth.
Yeah. A lot of people
So
the main beef that people had with Mass Effect 3 was they
it's
didn't like the fact that this is a light spoiler, that it all came down to one decision, like choose door A, door B, door C sort of situation, where they thought that like, oh, because of all this decisions of like the last 3 games and last 10 years of whatever the fuck I've been doing is gonna all make up to this point. No, it's another decision. You just make A, B, C. So that's why people didn't like it. I didn't care because I was like, yeah, I've been doing this whole game series. Like, of course I'm gonna make a decision at the last moment. So, because Fable did it too. It's not a big deal. I have
Yeah,
no
but
problem with it.
Fables was terrible.
Yeah, that's true. but
Fable 3, like, well, unless you're talking about like the money and whatever, fine,
yeah,
I guess. But
but
it's just, yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
So okay, I'm willing to concede to The Walking Dead because it is, I guess, to each their own on that game as well. I definitely wouldn't give it a 10. I'd probably give it a high 8 or a 9. Um, when it comes to storytelling and gameplay, I think Mass Effect 3 did a really good job because it's a Mass Effect game, but I also have to rate it based on the game itself. And Diablo 3, I do know that a lot of people do love it. I'm willing to vote that one in too.
Yeah, I think it comes down to those two.
Um,
And
I think
I
based
don't
on
know.
how many people are still playing Diablo 3 and the fact that it is a fun game, it's a game that you literally could have 4 people playing on console with on the same screen. It's one of the they took the time to make a feature like that in that game. I'll give it to him. I'll give Diablo 3.
All right, we'll do it. Diablo 3 for 2012.
Yep.
All right. To 2013.
2013, we have Tomb Raider, the 2013 remake of Tomb Raider, telling Lara's story, a new Lara story, starring Camilla Luddington. Did you play this one? Did you play Tomb Raider in 2013?
No, I haven't played any Tomb Raider games.
Oh, disservice. BioShock Infinite also came out.
I did play that. I didn't get to beat it.
Oh my god, the whole point of it is to play that so you beat the game.
I never owned it, but it was my dad rented it, and then he turned it in before I beat it.
Dang.
Fuck!
That game, it was now you can buy it in the what do you call it, collection, the BioShock collection.
The
you get it played in magnificent 4K.
I didn't like it as much as the setting underwater for 1 and 2. 2 is still my favorite.
2 is your favorite? Oh, yuck.
Yeah.
No. Infinite's great because it ties everything all up in that. The Last of Us came out in 2013 as well. Summer release.
I love that game.
I remember standing in the middle of Game Crazy and showing and telling Christian, like, oh yeah, this game, I saw it on G4. I'm like, oh man, there's so many references in this callback that it sounds fake. But
wow. Yeah.
That was...
I don't know. I've actually beaten that game twice. I did New Game Plus of Last of Us, and I actually played it online for a little bit. So.
Animal Crossing New Leaf. This is a 3DS game. 3DS game or DS game? 3DS.
Yeah.
Did you play this?
No.
Sky play this?
No. Yeah. Oh. She played that.
What?
I wasn't a DS player.
Fair enough.
I stopped after the Game Boy SP.
The Game Boy SP?
That shit was awesome.
My dad had an SP. I had a Game Boy Advance.
That shit was tight.
Dota 2 came out on PC in 2013 as well, as of what I saw in the Wikipedia, so don't shoot me, Dota fans. I don't know. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Arguably the most popular.
Yes, it is probably my favorite Assassin's Creed.
I stopped at 3.
Yeah, the reason why I played 4, because I was like, oh, it's a pirate game. There aren't very many of these. And at the time. And I was like, all right, I'll play this. And it's just good. I liked the character. I think he plays Edward. No, Edward is in 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you find out that, like, 4 is the grandfather of 3, which the father is the one in Rogue. And those are, like, the only 3 Assassin's Creeds that are, like, generation. Like, boom, boom, boom. The other ones are just, now they're all over the place. They're just like, yep, it's back in time, you know? So, another little game by a very small studio, Rockstar, came out with Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2013. Obviously, GTA 5, to this day, is still one of the biggest video games of all time, and it's just so... Ashton, can you form the sentence of how good it is? How good is GTA 5?
It is the top grossing game of all time.
So would you say it's so fucking good?
It is so fucking good.
I really the store. Okay, go ahead. Tell me why.
Here's the thing.
Okay,
here's
all right. Let me sit back here.
The little details that you get here. So they brought people in with a script and were like, hey, say these lines. You know, they got people off the street to come in, you know, do some voice acting for like random pedestrians or like gangsters or whatever you run into. They literally threw the script out and like, no, that's not how we talk. We say shit like this. And they just let him go. They just let him go. Hey, yeah, just say it. Just say whatever the fuck you want. And we're going to put it in the video game. Somebody says, killing makes my dick hard in that game. Yeah. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The game is just fucking great. And they keep adding. It's all free content all the time. You don't have to pay for anything in the game. It is a grind, but it's a fun grind. It's a fucking sandbox, basically. You just run around and they have like fucking cars that have rockets on the back of them and shit. Now, at the time, it didn't have that,
Mm-hmm.
but
GTA
the
Online would
sto-
not come until about a year later, but yes, yeah, you're right.
yes, but if we're talking about that version of the game, just
Mm-hmm.
the story was awesome.
Yes.
The story was fucking amazing, and there's tons of Easter eggs in it. You got to play as 3 characters. You got to play as Franklin, this black dude who basically steals cars for a living. You have fucking
Trevor.
oh yeah, Trevor, who's arguably the best. He's fucking crazy con man, trailer park trash dude who I think the first time you see him, he's fucking some dude's wife.
Yep. Actually, it's the
Um,
guy from Lost in the Damned. It's the guy's
yes,
wife from Lost in the Damned,
the
which was a
fucking
funny
sap.
callback because most people wouldn't know that GTA reference, but everyone hated GTA 4. So the first thing you see Trevor do is stomp a mud hole into this dude and kill him because everyone hated
Yeah,
Lost in the Damned.
it was fucking great.
You also had Michael.
And then Michael, who's basically this older dude who had like this crazy bank heist with Trevor back in the day. Um, and he's just kind of like chilling in life.
Yeah, he's a
And
witness protection sort of
yeah,
thing.
he's witness protection because he sold everybody out, and you know, there's that. And then he has a shithead kid.
Kids,
Fucking well, the main one,
he has a
Jimmy.
slut and a dumbass.
Yeah, he's fucking stupid. I don't know, but like, there's like different numbers you can use to dial on your phone, and like they just have so many like weird little tiny things. Like you can actually call the numbers on all the boards. Um, it's fucking crazy. Like the amount of detail that went in this game, and might I add, the world is fucking massive.
Yeah.
It is a massive world. It's basically modeled after California, which apparently they did a spot on job, according to people who actually live there.
Based on
So
the LA area is where Los
yeah,
Santos.
on LA,
Yeah.
yeah, Los Santos. So it's
Yeah. I mean,
it is awesome.
To me, GTA 5 is just, to me, is still one of the best stories in video games, and it's a game. It's a video game that has a fantastic story. There's no
Wait,
other game.
right?
What was that?
You beat it, correct?
Oh yeah, I've 100%ed it, or not 100%ed it. I've almost 100%ed it on Xbox. That's the farthest I've gotten.
The interrogation where you get to pick what you're using to torture a guy to
Oh yeah, there's that too.
took a car battery to his legs.
There's also the serial killer side mission thing. That's not even a fucking mission. It's just something you go do. I'm like, what? How is there a thing like that? There is an Easter egg in GTA 5 where if you go to Trevor's like little like back alley, trailer park thing, you'll see a trailer that's burned down, and that is a clue to go to another location, to then you go to this little island, and you'll see that there are bodies like put into the water and they've just sunk to the bottom, and it's all tied to the serial killer of Los Santos. What other game does that? It's not even a mission. You just go do that and you'll find that. It's like there's also an Easter egg. If you 100% the game, you can see a UFO on a stormy day. On Mount Chiliad, I think is the mountain. Yep. But the thing
there's
about...
also a ghost up there.
There is a ghost up there.
Sasquatch down the mountain.
Yeah, there is a Sasquatch. Well, yeah.
It's a side quest. Yeah, it's a side mission.
But yeah, there's the reason why to me this game is just amazing is the fact that the story, I've never played a story where I can play as 3 different characters and it doesn't feel like I'm getting yanked out of my socks to go and do another thing where I'm like, oh god, now I gotta go play as Trevor, or now I gotta go play as Michael. Every time I got put into another thing, I'm like, okay, cool, what's going on with Michael, like what's happening, or what's going on with Trevor, or what's going on with Franklin. They're so good together, and then they all, you slowly start to figure out that like they all need each other. Like Trevor needs a friend that he lost. He truly loved and would go to battle for, and he lost him, and then now he got him back. And then you got Franklin, who doesn't have a father figure in his life, that grows up on the streets, that's trying to figure out, like, his aunt hates him and he's kind of a fuck up and he doesn't really know what to do with his life because he's just this young kid that doesn't know what to do. But then Michael starts to like kind of show him that fatherly thing of like, maybe not in the right ways, but he's showing him like how to be a man sort of thing. And Michael is starting to see that in Franklin of like, hey, I'm treating this kid like I should be probably treating my family. And so he starts to figure out that like I have a family now. I should be treating them with love and compassion or whatever. And you start to realize like how deep is this fucking game? Like what is, I thought this game was about slapping hookers and stealing cars. Like what is this whole game? But yeah, you notice that there's actually like a heart to the game and that there's actually a story to this game and it's fun to play. And then GTA Online came in and has been, 2013. So we've passed 5+ years on this game now. And and
I gotta say my favorite mission was as Michael, where you get high as fuck and you think you get abducted by aliens.
Oh yeah, and he starts skydiving. Yeah, they all have a mission where they do that. They all have a mission where they get high.
Yeah.
I think Trevor's is he gets so high that he starts to shoot clowns. Like you have to shoot off these hordes of clowns.
Shooting up the town.
Yeah, he's just essentially killing thousands of people.
Basically on fucking bath salts, just mass murder
with a death machine. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so good. It's just so good. I think unfortunately all of these games that came out in the year 2013, though they are so good, from Tomb Raider to BioShock to Animal Crossing to Assassin's Creed to The Last of Us to Dota, it's like just that was a really good year. And they all came out like beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year. 2013 was a really good year of games. There wasn't a lot. I mean,
all these games were so good and so spaced out well that they didn't affect each other at launch.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, I'm already giving it a grant. We talked about this game. I don't know how long already. So I mean, we already know that this game is.
Yeah, I would definitely say GTA 5 is game of the year for 2013. So when it all comes down to it, Diablo 3 will be representing 2012, and GTA 5 will be representing 2013. Red Dead Redemption will be representing 2010, and Minecraft will be representing 2011. So in the next episode, maybe we'll do 14 and 15. I'm not sure, depending on how much we want to kind of rush through these. We just want to keep track of them. And I didn't know when this whole when we'll start becoming available where Ashton can come over to my house and start recording again. But until then, we might double up on stuff just to make things kind of flow a little bit faster so we can get Game of the Decade done. But yeah, that's going to wrap things up unless you got any final words for Game of the Decade.
Stay safe out there, guys.
Okay. That had nothing to do with the Game of the Decade, but that's a good closing statement. We're going to go on that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for listening to Bitcade. If you guys want to watch more stuff, make sure you hit subscribe button to wherever you are listening to this, YouTube, audio, whatever. Go to primaltarget.com. Go check out Ashton where?
Mixer.com/primaltarget.
Mixer.com/primaltarget. Links in the description below, as well as all of our other social media. You can follow me at Ryan A. Moore. You can follow him at
Sticky_Ash.
And that is going to be Bitcade. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Good night, everybody, and wash your hands.
Oh. Does it count if I let my dog lick my hands?
Yeah, I think that counts.